All right, so what is the best small food business to start? And what is the best food to sell from home? Well, if you're looking for home-based food business ideas, I'm actually going to give you the 5 food businesses that you can start this weekend on a very low budget. I'm going to break each one down and explain how much they cost and how to market it and everything else in between. So welcome to Marketing Food Online. It's Damian Roberti. So in this video for Marketing Food Online, we are going to dive into just that. I'm going to give you 5 specific things you can begin to sell this weekend. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't take much money to do, and they're hugely profitable. And I'm going to dive into it just now. Now, these are in no particular order. I'm going to give you them 1 through number 5. You can actually mix and match or even do all of them if you're interested in doing that. But it's definitely something that you could do on a small scale and get the wheels moving in profitability. So if you want to start a profitable food business, but you don't want to wait months to launch, there's some good news. You don't need a storefront. You don't need a food truck. You don't even need a big budget to start making money with food. Here are 5 specific food businesses that you can actually start this weekend with low startup costs, simple supplies, and high profit potential. Number 1, as always, the king of the king, home-based baking businesses. Why it works? Why does it work so well? Well, baked goods sell fast and they are huge profit margins. And most states allow you to sell from home under the cottage food laws, making it super easy. How to get started, Damian, by this weekend? Well, you want to pick 2 to 3 best-selling items. Now, these could be things that you enjoy making, or if you're simply looking for profitability, teach yourself to make them because, to be honest with you, it's not rocket science. We're talking about cookies, cupcakes, brownies, banana breads, and more. Something that's hugely popular right now are those mini loaves that people are selling in droves. I actually went to Facebook yesterday and found a group of sellers, 250,000 members, people who actually sell from home those little mini loaves, and those are hugely profitable. Set up pre-orders on Facebook or Instagram. Taking orders for this weekend, limited spots available. These are the types of things you can do within your zip code, literally, and in your community. Get people excited about and aware of what you're doing. Go to Facebook, create a Facebook page, very simply, put up the type of items, take some images and photos, and you're ready to rock and roll. You can sell at local farmers markets. You can do pop-up events. And here's a little bit of a pro tip. You want to offer dessert boxes or themed treats for special occasions to boost sales. Now, profitability potential, anywhere from an additional $500 to $3,000 per month in additional funds to your pocket selling this product. All right, so number 2, homemade jam and jelly business. Now, why it works. People absolutely love homemade small batch jams. It's a huge market seller, no matter what state you're in, and you can make a huge profit with low-cost ingredients. How to get started by this weekend, Damian? Well, you want to make small test batches, use seasonal fruits and unique flavor profiles, strawberry basil, mango habanero. You can get as creative as you want because the more creative, actually the better off they'll sell. Design simple labels and branding. You could actually print at home or use local print shops to create your unique labels. By the way, I actually have a video. Check out the link down below. It shows you exactly how to create your own labels from home. Again, you want to sell in Facebook groups, at local events, or even partner with local coffee shops or eateries to sell your product. Now, here's a pro tip. Mini sampler packs help new customers try multiple flavors. So put together a small sampling, little tiny jars, sell them as a set. People love them. Potential profit for those per month, anywhere people are making from $500 additional dollars to $5,000. Depends on how much you want to put effort into it and how many you sell based upon your margins. Number 3. Meal prep and ready-to-eat food service. Yes, believe it or not, in some states, you can do this directly from your kitchen. Why does it work? People pay for convenience, and meal prep services generate repeat weekly customers. Now, how to get started by this weekend? You want to pick a niche. This is the most pivotal part. Find keto meals, family dinners, gym-friendly high-protein meals. Offer a simple menu about 3 to 5 meal options for pickup or even delivery. You also want to take pre-orders by Friday and deliver them on Sunday or so during the weekend. This is a great way to accumulate orders and do it all in one big batch. Here's a pro tip. Meal bundles for easy upsells. 5 meal pack, 10 meal pack. You can see where I'm going with this. So these will generate even more revenue. There are people creating meal prep businesses from home with profits anywhere from $1,500 to $10,000 a month as a side hustle. Keep in mind, guys, as I go through this list, you don't have to have a lot of technical skill, certifications, degrees, and all of that jazz. That's something you don't need to have. You just need to have a love for your food making. Pick one of these items and then start to do it. Number 4, homemade spice blends and seasonings. Now, why does it work? Spices last longer than perishable foods. They have a low production cost and everyone needs them because everyone spices some type of food every single day. How to get started this weekend? Create 2 to 3 signature spice blends, barbecue rubs, taco seasonings, gourmet salt blends. They are hugely popular. And even when they become niche inside of small micro batches made from a small kitchen, they become even more enticing. Packaged in small glass jars or even resealable bags. You can sell these on Etsy, Facebook groups, or local markets. Here's a pro tip. You want to bundle spice sets for gift packs and holiday sales. Potential each month, anywhere from $500 additional dollars in your pocket to $4,000. I actually saw a video a few days ago on YouTube. Somebody was doing this from home and was making $6,000 a month. Number 5, one of the biggest margin things on the planet Earth is gourmet popcorn business. Why does it work? Popcorn is cheap to make and has a huge markup. People love fun, flavored snacks, and popcorn, no matter what event you go to, sells like crazy. How to get started by this weekend, Damien? Well, you want to make 3 to 5 unique flavors. Caramels, spicy cheddar, cookies and cream, or even birthday cake. They now have an enormous amount of popcorn seasonings on the market. I actually saw a website that had over 50 different popcorn seasonings. You have an opportunity to make big time profit going to events. Packaged in small or even large bags, you want to offer variety packs for even better upselling. You want to sell at local events, coffee shops, even through social media, like again, Facebook groups. Look at locally centralized in your zip code and start to promote it. Here's a pro tip. Popcorn tins make great holiday and even gift ideas, perfect for year-round sales. Potential profit for you each month, anywhere from $500 additional bucks in your pocket to over $8,000. I actually saw a video about a week ago again on this, and I saw a popcorn gentleman and his wife going to local events. They were making $10,000 a month going to different events on each of the weekends. So, final thoughts. Starting selling food this weekend is something you can do. You don't need a restaurant, food truck, or even a huge budget to start with, and you make money with food. Pick one idea, start small, and get your first customers by this weekend. Baking business, focus on selling desserts online and at markets. Jam business, make small batches and sell locally. Meal prep business, offer pre-orders and weekly meal plans set to renew every week. Spice blends, well, package custom flavors and sell them online. Popcorn business, high margin, easy to sell flavored snacks. So which idea excites you the most? Drop a link down and comment down below. Let us know what you might be opening by this weekend, and I'll see you on our... Okay, so what foods are too risky to sell from home? In this video, I'm going to give you a rundown of 7 specific foods and some alternatives that you can sell instead that you actually can't sell legally from home due to the potential risks of making the product. So welcome to Marketing Food Online. It is Damien Roberti. So in this video for Marketing Food Online, we're actually going to dive into a lot of questions that I get here on our channel and our other channel, Cottage Foods Laws, all about what foods can I not make because people are very cautious about what they can't make because they don't want to get in trouble or potentially get somebody sick. So these are going to be 7 different food items, and I'm going to start from number 7, go all the way down to number 1, which is probably the most dangerous one to make. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just simply that there are a lot of times cottage food laws are set up to help people stay safe if they're making food products. So starting that home-based food business can be hugely profitable, but not all foods are safe or even legal to sell from home for that matter. Some foods pose actual health risks, legal restrictions, or even spoil too quickly, making them a nightmare for homemade food entrepreneurs. So I'm going to go from number 7 to number 1. Let's start the list off. Number 7, chocolate and candy with real liquor. Now, this is something that you are not allowed to do. Now, why it's so risky? Well, obviously selling alcohol-infused chocolates or even candies requires special alcohol permits, as a matter of fact, even if the liquor is minimal. Some states actually ban the sale of homemade liquor-based foods or candies without a separate license, getting an alcohol license for that permit. If improperly labeled, you could actually face legal consequences for selling to minors, believe it or not. Now, some alternatives to doing that, well, sell alcohol-free or flavored chocolates with infused flavors like coffee or cinnamon or fruit. They even have flavorings out there that taste like certain alcohols like rums and vodkas and things, but they're not actual alcohol. It's just flavorings. That's an alternative. You want to offer non-alcoholic truffle kits where customers add their own liqueur maybe at home. That might be something that you can do as well. That way you stay away from the legalities of selling actual liqueur in some type of food product that somebody could get sick. Number 6, baked goods or perishable fillings. Actually, they have the perishable fillings. These are good. Baked goods with these perishable fillings like cream-filled pastries, cheesecakes, or custards. Now, why is it risky, Damien? Well, any pastry with cream, custard, or dairy-based fillings needs refrigeration, guys. a challenge for any home baker, but you have to maintain that temperature. Now, if left at room temperature for too long or even out at a local event or festival, these desserts can grow bacteria and cause actual food poisoning. Now, many states only allow dried baked goods like cookies or breads or muffins under their cottage food laws. Now, here's some alternatives to actually doing this without doing cream-filled items. Stick to the stable baked goods, things that are like cakes, brownies, breads, cookies, muffins. There are all kinds of even pastries that just literally don't have any type of cream in them. The list goes on, and the variations is enormous. So there actually is a huge amount that you can make, just minus the cream. Offer freeze-dried cakes, cubes, or even do-it-yourself cake kits. These kits are actually very, very popular lately, and they allow people to complete the kit at home, doing something fun with their family, maybe their kids, or on a special event. That way, you get around the fact of having some cream-filled product. Now, number 5. Now, this is obviously a no-brainer, but unfortunately, a lot of people do ask about it. Seafood, like smoked fish, sushi even, or even shellfish. Why this is risky? Now, this is an extremely perishable item. Seafood spoils faster than almost any other food known to man. Many states ban the sale of home-prepared seafood due to the high food poisoning risks. Even smoked or preserved fish requires special licensing and refrigeration and processes to make it safe for people to eat. Now, what are some alternatives to this one? Well, so you can actually sell seafood spice blends like Cajun seasonings or seafood boil mixes. These are fantastic and hugely popular, but they allow you still to make something related to seafood, but not actual seafood. Offer freeze-dried seafood snack packs through a licensed supplier. So now this could be something that you can purchase and actually put it together and sell it as a kit. Number 4, home canned foods. Now this is going to be pickles, jams, jelly, or fermented foods. Now, why this is risky? Well, if it's not canned properly, believe it or not, home canned goods can actually grow botulism bacteria, which is deadly. Some states allow jams and jellies, but others require testing for the pH levels and shelf stability. Now, fermented foods, again, have a bit of a risk, like kimchi or sauerkraut or kombucha. They actually carry a high risk of bacterial contamination, and that makes them very, very risky, so they try to stay away from that on cottage food laws. Now, alternatively, you can sell dehydrated fruit mixes instead of actual homemade jams, or offer prepackaged fermented kits, a step-by-step with instructions. These are actually hugely popular lately. A lot of people are buying them and then producing the product at home, making it something that can pass the liability, in a sense, onto the producer, not you. Number 3, home-cooked meats. Yes, like barbecue, jerky, or burgers. Why this is risky? Well, meat is highly perishable, of course, as we know, and requires strict temperature control to avoid foodborne illnesses. Many states actually ban the sale of home-cooked meats unless you have a commercial kitchen or USDA-approved facility or separate kitchen within your home that is inspected by the USDA. Now, selling meat without proper labeling can lead to some serious legal troubles too, and a potential of people getting sick. Now, what can you do alternatively? Well, why don't you offer marinade spice blends for meats instead of actually selling cooked meat? Sell vacuum sealed or store-bought beef jerky with private labeling instead of making your own. You can actually do this online. I did a video here on Marketing Food Online. There's companies out there that can make it and put your name on it, so that way you're not actually making it yourself. Number 2, homemade salsas and sauces that are low-acid foods. Now, why this is risky? Well, another one about bacteria. Low-acid foods like salsas, barbecue sauce even, or pasta sauce, can actually develop botulism as well if it's not processed properly or correctly. You must use a commercial kitchen and follow canning safety protocols to sell them legally. Now, there's some alternatives to that. You can offer freeze-dried herbs or spice kits to do-it-yourself salsa mix. That is something you can do for salsa fanatics and let them do it at home. All right, last but not least, as I mentioned before, the one that's probably the most talked about or asked about is dairy-based products like cheese, cream, butter-based sauces. These are heavily temperature-controlled and sensitive to temperatures. Now, why it's risky? Dairy products require, of course, temperature control and can spoil quickly if not stored properly. Many states actually prohibit selling dairy-based foods under cottage food laws, and a single case of foodborne illness like listeria could actually ruin your business and potentially get you lawsuits. Now, in some states now, if you have the space and the land, you can build a separate commercial kitchen, and you'll be inspected by the Department of Agriculture, but there's a whole gamut of permits and licenses and insurance that you would need. Now, alternatively, again, you can sell spice blends for customers to mix with dairy or at home and produce their own products there, or items that are just dairy-free. Now, of course, doing dairy products, again, is very, very risky. So if you're looking to create them, I would highly recommend you look into getting a commercial kitchen. So there you have it. These are the 7 foods that are too risky to sell from home that you should really stay clear of when you're launching a home-based food business. I would definitely think twice about it. Some foods are just too risky to sell from home due to those safety issues, legal restrictions, and perishability. And if you want a successful home-based food business, stick to safe, legal allowed products under cottage food laws in your state. And by the way, you can check out Cottage Foods Laws. That's actually the name of my new YouTube channel dedicated to home-based food entrepreneurs. And again, there's always alternatives to these items. All right, if you like this, definitely give me a big thumbs up. If you have questions about this video, let me know. Ask me. We will definitely get. All right, so if you're looking to launch a home-based food business from home in 2025, I'm going to give you 10 specific reasons why you should actually. If it's a side hustle or just a recipe you want to turn into a $1 million business, the vast majority of food businesses get started from home. I'm going to give you those 10 specific reasons right now. All right, guys, so welcome back to Marketing Food Online. So like I mentioned in the introduction, I actually want to sit for a few minutes and give you 10 reasons why in 2025 is a great time to launch a food business from home. Did you know the vast majority of all the foods you buy in a grocery store and online have launched from someone's kitchen? And I'm going to give you 10 reasons why it is economically feasible and a great idea, saves you a lot of money, and you have a lower investment. Let's dive into those 10 specific things right now. Number 1, simplified regulatory requirements. So yes, believe it or not, under cottage food laws, they're actually designed to reduce the regulatory burden on small-scale food producers. In 2025, many states have further streamlined these laws, actually making it easier for home-based businesses to comply. Typically, these laws actually allow you to produce non-sell potentially hazardous food products without even any extensive licensing or even permits or even inspections, significantly lowering the barriers of entry for food entrepreneurs. Number 2, low startup costs. So operating from home under the cottage food laws actually eliminates the need for expensive commercial kitchen rentals and extensive equipment purchases, even big investments. So you can actually start business with a minimal investment using your existing kitchen space and even basic utensils. Now, this affordability makes it actually ideal venture for those who are limited on capital or looking to test out their business idea before they scale it up. The third reason why is flexibility in production. This is actually pretty cool because home-based food businesses actually benefit from the flexibility to produce goods according to your schedule. And whether you're actually balancing another job or family responsibilities or other commitments, cottage food laws actually typically allow you to manage production times that suit your lifestyle. Now, this flexibility can lead to a better work-life balance and increased personal satisfaction in the things that you do every day. Number 4, there's a growing demand for artisanal and homemade foods all over the country. Yes, as a matter of fact, it's a fact. Consumers are actually increasingly valuing the authenticity, quality, and unique flavors of homemade and artisanal foods. Now, cottage food laws support this trend by enabling home-based food businesses to cater to this niche market and specialized products such as gluten-free baked goods, for instance, vegan snacks, or even ethnic delicacies. Now, this demand provides ample opportunity to carve out a profitable niche within your own home. Number 5, enhanced community support and local networking. Home-based food businesses often thrive on local support and community engagement, of course. Cottage food laws encourage entrepreneurs to participate in farmers markets, local fairs, community events, fostering direct relationships with their customers. And of course, this grassroots approach not only builds brand loyalty, but also enhances word-of-mouth marketing. Number 6, the opportunity for creative control of your personal branding. Now, running a home-based food business allows you to actually maintain complete creative control over your products and your brand. Cottage food laws empower you to develop unique recipes, experiment with some different flavors, even create a brand identity that reflects your personal story and even things that you value. This authenticity can actually differentiate your business in a competitive marketplace of food. Number 7, easier compliance, yes, and safety standards. Now, while cottage food laws are more lenient than actual commercial regulations, they still uphold essential food safety standards. Now, in 2025, many states have updated their laws to provide clear guidance and support for home-based food businesses. Now, this ensures that your products are safe for consumption while allowing you to operate without any complexities of full-scale commercial compliance. Number 8, leveraging online sales platforms. Yes, in many states, you can actually sell online. So the rise of e-commerce and online marketplaces have revolutionized how home-based food businesses reach customers. Now, cottage food laws in 2025 often accommodate for online sales, allowing you to expand your market beyond the local boundaries of your area. Platforms like Shopify and even specialized food marketplaces enable you to showcase your products and sell globally to audiences with ease. If your state allows that, you can definitely even ship. Number 9, access to grants and support programs. Yes, home-based food businesses, by the way, have access to many governments and organizations recognizing the potential of cottage food businesses and even offer grants, training programs, and financial support to help entrepreneurs succeed from their home. Now, in 2025, these resources are even more accessible, providing valuable assistance in areas such as marketing, product development, or even the business management itself. Taking advantage of these programs can significantly boost your business's growth and sustainability. Number 10, last but not least, sustainability and eco-friendly practices. This is something that's huge in the consumer realm. Operating from a home-based food business under cottage food laws allows you to implement sustainable and eco-friendly practices more easily. Actually, from sourcing local or even organic ingredients to using minimal or recyclable packaging. You can align your business with environmental conscious values, and this commitment not only attracts eco-minded customers, but also contributes to a positive brand image and long-term viability. So, if you're starting a home-based food business in 2025 under the cottage food laws, offering numerous advantages for lower startup to actually regulatory simplicity, the ability to tap into growing consumer demand for artisanal and homemade foods, these laws actually are empowering entrepreneurs to operate flexibility, maintain control, and engage deeply with their local communities. So, if you have any questions about launching your home-based food business in 2025, let me know down below.
All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into how to make social media work for your cottage food business. You sent over a ton of articles and resources, so it's obvious that you're ready to tackle this challenge. And you
Yeah.
know what? You're really smart to be
Yeah.
because get this. Do you know that the cottage food industry is bringing in over $5 billion a year?
Wow.
That's a lot of people buying cookies and cakes and all kinds of amazing homemade food.
Yeah, that's amazing. What's really interesting about that is, the growth is happening at the same time that we're seeing a huge shift in how people buy food. It
Yeah.
seems like everyone is really craving that personal touch, that homemade feel. And you know where they go to find it?
Where?
Social media.
Makes sense to me. Okay, but beyond just being trendy, what advantages does social media offer cottage food businesses? I mean, we're not talking about big national brands here.
Right. And that's a really great point. When it comes to cottage food, social media can really help you level the playing field. Because you're not competing with these massive marketing budgets. You're connecting with your community directly. And since most cottage food laws restrict you to local sales, that hyper-local targeting you can do on social media, it's a game changer.
Okay, so it's cost effective and it helps you tap into that local market. But one article mentions something about building a brand with personality. What does that even mean for a small business, like let's say a baker?
Okay, well, think of it this way. Anyone can go buy a cookie at the supermarket, right?
Okay.
But on social media, you're not just selling cookies. You're selling an experience. So yeah, you want to show off those gorgeous, gooey chocolate chip cookies for sure, but also you can share that secret ingredient that's been passed down from your grandma. Or maybe post a quick video of you whipping up a batch in your kitchen. Let people into your world a little bit. Let them see the story behind your food.
That's a great idea. Okay, so it's all about being genuine and letting your passion shine through. But there are so many different platforms out there. You got Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and even Pinterest and Nextdoor. I mean, how do you even choose where to start?
Yeah, you do not need to be on all of them. Don't feel like you have to be everywhere at once. In fact, that's probably just a recipe for burnout. The best thing to do is think about who your ideal customer is and where they're already spending their time online. Are they the kind of person that's scrolling through beautifully styled food photos on Instagram? Do they love getting recipe inspiration on Pinterest? Or maybe they're catching all the latest food trends on TikTok. Pick one or two platforms that feel right for you and your product, and then really nail those before you even think about expanding.
That's great advice. It's easy to get overwhelmed trying to do everything at once. Okay, so let's say I've chosen my platforms. How do I make my profile stand out? What are the must-haves?
Well, your profile is like your digital storefront. It's that first impression. It needs to be inviting and informative. So, first things first, make sure your branding is consistent across all your platforms. Same logo, same color, same vibe. And that profile picture should be a showstopper. It could be your logo or an amazing shot of your best-selling product, something that's really going to make people stop scrolling.
Okay, so branding. Check. Got a profile picture? Check. But what about the content of my profile? What do I tell people?
Keep it clear and concise. What do you sell? Where are you located? How can people order from you? Make it super easy for them to become customers. And here's a little tip that a lot of people miss. Be upfront about your cottage food status. Not only is it often a legal requirement, but it can also be a real selling point. People love knowing that their treats are coming from a real person, made with love in a home kitchen.
I like that. Transparency with a touch of personality. So we've got these great profiles set up, but what do we actually post? That's where content strategy comes in, right?
Exactly. And this is where it starts to get fun. But first, we need a little bit of a mindset shift. We're not just posting pretty pictures. We're telling a story, your story. And each piece of content is like a chapter.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this story. What kind of chapters are we talking about?
Well, for starters, let's talk about mouth-watering product photos. Those are non-negotiable. Close-ups, beautiful lighting, really highlighting the textures, make people practically taste those cookies through the screen.
But you said it's more than just pretty pictures. What else can we be doing?
Okay, so let's say you're known for your incredible pumpkin spice cookies. Don't just show the finished product. Take people behind the scenes. Show them sifting the flour, mixing the spices, maybe even that old handwritten recipe card you got from your grandma. Give them a little sneak peek into your world.
Oh, I love that. It's like those cooking shows where they show all the different steps. Makes you feel more connected to the food somehow.
You got it. And don't forget about the power of customer testimonials. If you have someone raving about your latest creation, share it. People trust other people more than they trust marketing, right?
Sure.
It's like having your best friend recommend something to you. Just carries more weight.
That's a really great point. I'm always more likely to try something if I see real people enjoying it. So we've got photos, we've got behind the scenes, we've got testimonials. What other chapters can we add to this story?
Well, think about what makes your cottage food business special. Maybe you use all organic, locally sourced ingredients. Share that. Maybe you have a special technique for decorating your cakes. Show it off. You can even use your content to teach people something new. Share a quick tip for baking the perfect pie. Carries more weight.
That's a really great point. I'm always more likely to try something if I see real people enjoying it. So we've got photos, we've got behind the scenes, we've got testimonials. What other chapters can we add to this story?
Well, think about what makes your cottage food business special. Maybe you use all organic, locally sourced ingredients. Share that. Maybe you have a special technique for decorating your cakes. Show it off. You can even use your content to teach people something new. Share a quick tip for baking the perfect pie crust, or maybe a fun fact about the history of chocolate chip cookies. It all adds value and positions you as an expert.
I am so ready to start posting right now, but before I get too carried away, there's one thing we need to cover. Compliance.
Absolutely. Social media is an incredibly powerful tool, but you have to use it responsibly. You need to understand the cottage food laws in your state, especially when it comes to online sales and advertising. What are you allowed to say about your products? How can you accept payments? Can you ship your products all over the country, or are you restricted to local delivery? Be upfront about any limitations and definitely include allergen information. Not only does it protect you legally, but it also builds trust with your customers.
Right. Compliance isn't just about avoiding trouble. It's about building a sustainable business based on honesty and transparency. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about why social media is so important, how to choose the right platforms, how to make your profile stand out, and even how to create really engaging content. What's coming up next?
In part 2, we're going to be exploring the exciting world of community engagement, and I'll teach you how to turn those followers you have into loyal customers. We'll also dive into the data side of things, and we'll learn how to track your success and make sure that all of your online efforts are translating into real-world results. See you then.
Welcome back. In part 1, we talked about, setting up your cottage food business on social media, picking the right platforms, making your profile shine, creating content, telling your story.
Right, and now we're going to talk about how to actually bring that online presence to life and turn it into a community of loyal customers. Because a beautiful Instagram feed, well, it's great and all, but it doesn't mean much if it's not actually bringing in orders for your delicious creations.
That's so true. It's not just about vanity metrics or anything. So how do we turn those followers, those likes, into paying customers?
Wow.
People who are excited to buy our homemade goodies.
It all comes down to engagement, building relationships. Think about it. Would you rather buy from some faceless brand, the kind that just posts product photos all day long? Or would you rather buy from someone that you feel like you actually know? Someone who takes the time to answer your questions, respond to your comments, someone who seems like they care.
Yeah, I would definitely go with the second option. But to be honest, I'm a little intimidated by the whole engagement thing. It just seems like a lot to keep up with, especially when you're already busy baking and running a business.
I totally get it. It can definitely feel overwhelming, but it really doesn't have to be. Even just setting aside a few minutes every day to check your notifications,
Hmm.
respond to some comments, maybe strike up a conversation or two. It's all about quality over quantity. You know, a
Yep.
few genuine interactions can go a long way in building those relationships.
Okay, so that feels a little bit more manageable. But what about when you're just swamped with orders and you don't have a lot of time for social media? How do you stay engaged without getting totally sucked in?
Well, the good news is that a lot of platforms have these scheduling tools now. So you can actually plan your posts in advance. Maybe spend an hour or two each week batch creating some content. Schedule it to go out at specific times. And then you can relax knowing that your social media is taken care of even when you're busy.
Oh, that's amazing. I love the idea of batching tasks and just getting ahead of things. But let's talk specifics. What kind of engagement are we talking about here? Is it enough to just comments and respond to questions?
That's definitely a good starting point. But you can totally take it even further. Ask questions in your captions to spark conversations. Run some polls to get people talking about their favorite flavors or what kind of seasonal treats they're looking for. You can even do a Q&A session where you share your expertise and answer questions.
Ooh, those are really good ideas. It's almost like you're inviting people into your kitchen and just having a casual conversation over a cup of coffee. You're creating that personal touch that you don't really get with traditional advertising.
Exactly. And one thing a lot of people forget about is user-generated content. Resharing photos or videos of customers enjoying your products. That's super powerful.
Mm.
It's authentic, it shows social proof, and it also makes your customers feel valued.
That's a great point. I mean, okay, so we're engaging with our followers, building relationships, creating a sense of community. But how do we know if it's actually working? How do we measure success beyond just looking at the number of likes?
That's where data comes in. There are a few metrics that you want to track. So first, are your follower numbers going up? And I'm not just talking about any followers. Are you attracting the right kind of followers? The ones who are actually interested in your products and are going to become customers.
Right. Like 1,000 followers across the globe doesn't really help you if you can only sell locally because of cottage food laws. So how do you make sure that you're attracting that local audience?
Well, it comes back to that hyper-local targeting we were talking about. Use location tags in your posts. Engage with other businesses and community groups in your area. Participate in conversations that are happening locally. The more you integrate yourself into that local online scene, the more likely you are to attract the right people.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like you're planting seeds in fertile ground, right? Instead of just throwing them out there randomly. But beyond followers, what are some other metrics we should be looking at?
Engagement rate. So what percentage of people who see your content actually interact with it? Are they liking? Are they commenting? Are they sharing your posts? Are they clicking the link in your bio to visit your website or place an order? These are all signs that your content is working and people are taking action.
Okay, so it's not about vanity metrics. It's about making sure that those likes are turning into real engagement and action.
Yes, exactly. And one thing that's often overlooked is just direct feedback. Ask your customers how they found you. Did they find you through social media? And if so, which platform? This is really valuable information that tells you which platforms are performing best for you and where you should be focusing your efforts.
I like that. It's almost like you've got a built-in focus group. You're getting insights from your customers. But what happens when you've been tracking your data and you realize that, maybe things aren't quite where you want them to be? Maybe your engagement is kind of low or you're not seeing a lot of traffic to your website. What do you do?
First of all, don't panic. It's all about experimenting and making adjustments. If something's not working, try something new. Switch up your content formats. Experiment with different posting times. Even analyze what your competitors are doing and see if you can learn something from them. The great thing about social media is that it's constantly changing, so you have all these opportunities to learn and grow.
I love that. It's like a fun challenge. But before we get too carried away with experimenting, I want to circle back to compliance.
Yes, so important. As you're building your community and engaging with your audience, always keep those cottage food regulations in mind. Be transparent about your limitations, your ingredients, allergen information, that kind of thing. It's not just about protecting yourself legally, it's also about maintaining that trust and transparency with your customers. That's so important.
Such an important reminder. Compliance isn't just a box to check. It's a vital part of having a successful business. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot when it comes to community engagement, data, compliance. Anything else you want to add before we move on to our final takeaways?
I guess the main thing is this. Building a community takes time. It takes effort. But it also takes a genuine desire to connect with your audience. And when you get it right, it's so rewarding. You're creating this loyal following of people who not only love your products, but also feel a connection to you and your brand. And that's pretty special.
All right, we're back. For the final part of our deep dive into cottage food and social media, we've covered a lot of ground, choosing the right platforms, making a great profile, creating content that's engaging, even getting into the art of community engagement.
And let's not forget the data and the importance of following those cottage food laws. Phew, it's been quite the journey.
It really has, but sometimes I think when you cover so much ground, it's easy to lose sight of the big picture. So let's try to, distill everything we've talked about into some key takeaways for our listeners. As they're getting started with social media, what are the must-remembers?
Well, I think we should start with the foundation. Why are we even doing this? Why do we even care about social media? It's not just to be trendy. It's because it's such a powerful tool for connecting with customers in a way that we really haven't been able to before.
So we're not posting just for the sake of posting. We have a real purpose.
Exactly. And that leads into the next point. Social media is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't get discouraged if you don't see those results right away.
Consistency and patience. Words to live by. What else?
Choice. Remember all those platforms we talked about, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You don't have to be on all of them. Pick one or two where your target audience hangs out and the ones that feel right for you.
Yeah. I remember you said it's better to be amazing on one platform than to be mediocre on 5.
Exactly. Quality over quantity, always. And once you've chosen your platforms, make those profiles really shine. Remember, consistent branding, a clear bio, delicious photos. Let your personality show.
It's like you're opening up a shop in a prime location. You want to make sure your storefront is beautiful and inviting. Okay, so our shop is all set up, but now we need to, stock the shelves. What kind of content should we be putting out there?
Think of it like you're putting together a menu. Beautiful product photos, those are your main course. But don't forget to spice things up with behind-the-scenes content, customer testimonials, maybe some educational stuff. Show off your expertise a little.
Variety. It's like having a menu that makes everyone want to come back for more. But even with the best menu, you have to get people in the door. How do we make sure our content is reaching the right people?
That's where community engagement comes in. It's not enough to just post and disappear. You have to respond to comments, answer questions, participate in conversations, make people feel heard.
Right. It's about building those relationships, not just broadcasting a message.
Exactly. And don't forget how powerful reviews and testimonials are. Happy customers can be your best advocates. Those real voices, they mean a lot more than any marketing campaign.
It's word of mouth, but amplified. Okay, so we've got great engagement, but we have to make sure it's actually translating into, orders. How do we measure success? Beyond just likes, I mean.
Data, data, data. Keep an eye on your followers. Are they growing? Are they the right kind of followers? And what about engagement? Are people liking, commenting, sharing? Go to your website. Don't be afraid to ask your customers, how did you find me?
It's like having a map, a roadmap to success. But sometimes you got to adjust your course along the way, right?
Exactly. Social media changes all the time, so you have to experiment and adapt. Don't be afraid to try new things. See what's working. If something isn't working, change it.
So it's a journey of learning. But before we go, I want to bring up compliance one last time.
You're right. We can't emphasize this enough. Cottage food laws are so important. Be transparent about everything. Limitations, ingredients, allergens. It's not just about staying out of trouble. It's about having a sustainable business that people trust.
It's doing business the right way. Okay, so we've talked about so much. What's the one big takeaway, the thing our listeners should really remember?
It's a tough one. I guess it would be this. Social media is really about connection, connecting with people, sharing your passion, your story, what makes your food special. Focus on those relationships. Provide value to your audience. Build a community around what you do. And I think you'll be really surprised by what you can achieve.
That's a great point. And don't forget, you can always head over to the Marketing Food Online YouTube channel. They have a ton of great tips and resources just for cottage food businesses.
Yeah, they're a great resource. And as you're getting started on this journey, think about what makes you different. What's your story? That's how you'll stand out. That's how you build a brand that people really connect with.
And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed our deep dive into social media for cottage food businesses. Happy baking and happy posting, everyone.
How to start a home hot sauce business, or even a hot sauce business online. So in this video, you're going to give me about 15 minutes of your time, and I'm actually going to walk you through step by step on how to launch a hot sauce business that can do at least $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And as the thumbnail says, I want to show you proof of actual sellers online who have sold more than that, almost $250,000, in fact. So if you're passionate about fiery flavors and you want to turn that love for hot sauce into a profitable venture, you're in the right place. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step from finding the niche flavoring to how to package it, how to label it, even how to market it. So let's dive right into it. Let's not waste any time. So finding your flavorful niche. Now, before you embark on this spicy adventure, you must understand that hot sauce market is diverse and competitive. Now, to stand out and succeed, which you can, you need to identify your unique selling proposition or your USP. Here's how to find your flavorful niche. Number one, spice profile. Start by determining the heat level and flavor profile for your hot sauce. Are you going to go with a smoky, sweet, or even a tangy taste? Experiment with various chili peppers to create a signature flavor that sets you apart. Number two, your ingredient selection. Now, consider using uncommon ingredients or unique combinations to elevate your sauce's taste. Ingredients like ghost peppers, habaneros, or even exotic fruits can actually add an intriguing twist. Number three, your target audience. So you want to define who your target audience is. Are you catering to spice enthusiasts, maybe even health-conscious individuals, or just gourmet food lovers? You want to tailor your sauce to their preferences. Number four, packaging and branding. Now, you want to invest in eye-catching packaging that reflects the essence of your hot sauce. A well-designed label can attract customers and convey the quality of your product. Now, perfecting your sauce recipe. Now, this is a little different. So your hot sauce recipe is, of course, the heart and soul of your business, especially when it comes to hot sauce. So here's how to create a memorable sauce that keeps customers coming back for more. A balance of flavors. So you want to achieve a harmonious balance between heat, sweetness, acidity, and taste. It's the secret to well-rounded sauces like yours. Consistency matters. So you want to ensure that your sauce has a consistent texture and thickness every single bottle. This is crucial for both taste and presentation. Small batch testing. You want to experiment with small batches before scaling your production. This allows you to fine-tune your recipe without wasting resources. Next up, legalities and regulations. All right, so launching a hot sauce business involves adhering to various legal regulations like any food business. So to avoid pitfalls and setbacks, here are some key aspects you want to think about and keep them in mind. Number one, your business structure. Decide on the legal structure of your business, whether it's a sole proprietorship, LLC, or corporation. Number two, permits and licenses. Now, you want to obtain, of course, your necessary permits and licenses to operate your business in your city or county. Now, this may include health permits, business license, or food handling certifications. Number three, labeling requirements. Ensure that your product labels comply with FDA regulations. Now, this includes accurate ingredient listings, nutritional facts, and even allergen warnings. Lastly, food safety. You want to implement strict food safety practices to prevent any contamination and ensure that the quality of your hot sauce is safe. Next up, sourcing quality ingredients. All right, so the quality of your hot sauce will be heavily dependent upon the ingredients you use. So here's how to source the best components for your recipe. Number one, chili peppers. You want to choose fresh, ripe peppers from reputable suppliers. Even consider growing your own if you want to have even a better quality control over your quality of your ingredients. Other ingredients. Now, sourcing high-quality vinegars, fruits, vegetables, and spices. Always opt for freshness and premium options when they're available. Local sourcing. This was always a good idea, guys. Whenever possible, support local farmers and producers to build strong relationships and maintain ingredient consistency. This also takes it off your hands for you to grow your own. All right, so next up, crafting your signature hot sauce. All right, number one, recipe development. Now, experiment, like we mentioned before, with different types of chili pepper variations, different ratios, and additional ingredients to achieve your desired flavor profile. Number two, batch testing. Now, each batch of hot sauce, you want to make small test batches and record each ingredient's quantity precisely. This will actually help you maintain consistency in future productions. Number three, taste testing. Gather feedback from your family and friends or even potential customers. Ask them to be honest, give their opinions, help guide you through a recipe that maybe you can improve on. Number four, scaling up production. Now, once you're satisfied with the recipe, scaling up production while maintaining the same quality of flavor is going to be critical. Number five, quality control. You want to implement stringent quality control measures to ensure that every batch is your high standards. Number 6, your packaging and labeling. Invest in professional packaging and labeling. You want to make sure your design aligns with your brand image and what you have in mind. All right, so now setting up your hot sauce business. Location. Consider renting a commercial kitchen or co-packing facility to meet your food safety regulations and increase production capacity. Next up is equipment. Invest in the necessary equipment for large-scale production, such as industrial blenders, bottle machines, and packaging materials. Distribution channels. You want to decide on your distribution channels as well. So do you want to sell locally at farmers markets? Do you want to sell online or through retail stores? Keep in mind, in just one moment, I'm about to show you why you may want to be online 100% because of the profitability and the margins. Also, pricing strategy. So you want to set competitive yet profitable prices. Consider factors like ingredient costs, production expenses, and market demand. All right, next up, one of the most critical aspects that are overlooked, marketing and branding. So effective marketing really is essentially building your brand awareness and driving sales in the competitive hot sauce industry. So now here's a way that you can do marketing very simple. Number 1, branding. Develop a strong brand identity that reflects the essence of your hot sauce that includes a logo, color scheme, and a brand story. Number 2, online presence. Create a professional website and leverage social media platforms to showcase your products. Engage with customers and share spicy recipes with them. And number 3, content marketing. Now you want to share informative yet entertaining content related to the hot sauce, cooking, or even spicy food culture. This can help establish you as an authority in the niche of hot sauce industry. Next up, collaborations. Partner with local restaurants and chefs to actually feature your hot sauce and their dishes. You want to expand your reach and credibility. Next is managing your finances as your business grows. To ensure your hot sauce business remains profitable and sustainable, you must manage your finances wisely. First off, budgeting. Create a detailed budget that includes production costs, marketing expenses, and overheads. Pricing. Continually review and adjust your pricing strategy to maintain profitability as ingredients may fluctuate in cost. Record keeping. You want to maintain accurate financial records to track revenue, expenses, and of course, profits. Cash flow management. Monitor cash flow to ensure that you have enough working capital to cover operational costs. Next up, we have scaling your hot sauce business. And then I'm going to show you proof that people are selling nearly $250,000 of hot sauce online. As your hot sauce business grows, you may want to consider these strategies for expansion, product line expansion, introduce new flavors or product variations to cater to different customer preferences, regional and national distribution. Now, you want to explore opportunities to maybe even distribute your hot sauce to a wider geographical area. Exporting. Now, this is, if it's feasible, consider entering international markets to tap into global demand for your spicy condiments. Lastly is wholesale and bulk sales. Now, partner with restaurants, food service providers, or retailers to increase your sales volume. So now, with all that being said, we've got that out of the way. Let me show you what I found on Amazon. Now, keep in mind, you can do this on eBay, Etsy, Shopify, Walmart.com, and the list goes on and on. Now, the more platforms that you're on, other than even Amazon, you're going to have a broader reach and have more customers to buy your hot sauce. What I'm about to show you may shock you, but it should actually get you excited about launching your own hot sauce business. Now, let's dive into this. All right, so I am on Amazon, and I am going to show you 4 examples of insane amounts of money people are making on hot sauces. So I just gave you the rundown of how to actually do the business side of it. Now, these are some real life numbers from actual sellers on Amazon. The first one, yes, you guessed it. This one right here. This guy has sold over 10,000 bottles of his hot sauce at, let's say, $12 a pop. That is $120,331.64 on this hot sauce. It only gets even better. The next one that we've got is this one right here. This guy has sold an insane amount of hot sauce. 20,000 units at $12. By the way, that's actually at a discount. $12 at 20,000 units. He has sold $231,888 worth of this hot sauce right here. Next up, we have this amazing one right here. This garlic Carolina Reaper. This one has sold 7,000 units at around $10 a pop. That's $72,780 roughly. And now I'm going to show you one more that's actually going to be so crazy. Let me go to the second page really quick. It is amazing what you can. And then lastly, this one right here. This is at $14 with 20,000 plus units. The Truff hot sauce. This one has sold $281,582 roughly on this platform. So if you're asking that question, hey, you know what? I want to launch a hot sauce business, but I don't know if it's actually very profitable. There's a big answer to that, and it's a YES. Yes, it is. And of course, you've got competition. Don't get me wrong, and this doesn't happen overnight. But you can build a profitable hot sauce business on Amazon or even other platforms like Walmart.com, where you've got millions of customers looking at your product, and you have the ability to make a ridiculous amount of money. So if you have any questions about launching a hot sauce business, or if this was helpful, give us a big thumbs up. I will see you guys on our next video. How to advertise home-cooked meals and how do you market a food product online. So in this video, I'm actually going to give you the 12 things that have worked for me when I launched my food business and started selling 14 years ago and have sold over $1.2 million in snacks and candies through my commercial kitchen and starting at a small cottage food business from home locally. I'm going to give you the 12 things that have actually given me results. I'm not going to be in any particular order because all of these actually will benefit you no matter what. So if you're looking at marketing food online requires a well thought out strategy that combines understanding local regulations. You want to target the right audience, of course, build an online presence, and leverage effective marketing channels. So in this video, I'm going to give you those 12 specific things one by one and give you an understanding and detailed breakdown of what they are and how you can apply them. So welcome to Marketing Food Online. It's Damian Roberti. If this is your first video, welcome. We are all about food entrepreneurship. I've got over 1,200 videos in nearly 50 countries and 150,000 subscribers, just like you, that are looking to launch home-based food businesses and other types of businesses with food. So number one, understand the legal requirements. Now, before you go diving into marketing, it's of course crucial to ensure that your business actually complies with your local and state food laws. Now, in many places, we have home-based food business laws that fall under what's known as cottage food laws that allow you to sell certain types of home-based foods. And these regulations often specify what types of food that you can sell. Usually, they're actually going to be non-perishable items such as baked goods, jams, candies, etc. Now, how the food must be labeled, they're going to dictate that as well in those laws. Where you can actually sell the products, some of them actually allow you to do it online, believe it or not, some states. Farmers markets and within certain areas within your city and county. And then it also tells you what kind of licenses and permits would be required. So understand those legal requirements. That's number one. Understanding these laws will actually help you avoid any type of legal issues, guys, and allows you to actually market with confidence because you understand what can and can't be done. Number two, define your target audience. Now, you want to identify your target audience, and that is key to successful marketing. Actually, marketing anything, product or service, especially food. You want to consider, number one, demographics, age, location, income level, and lifestyle. For example, if you're targeting busy professionals, let's say families or people with dietary restrictions like gluten-free or vegan, that would be one demographic. Buyer's behavior. This is something that's really interesting too. So what motivates your customers to purchase the food online? Convenience, specialty items, or supporting a small business. Next up is preferences. Do they prefer organic, locally sourced, or even gourmet products? So tailor your messaging to what resonates most with them is the key to getting started with your audience. Number three, build an online presence. Now, your online presence is how customers find and engage with your brand, obviously online. Now, this includes, number one, of course, a website. You want to create a professional one. If you don't know how to do that, have someone make one for you. Okay. I'm really personally on the fence about that because I personally have made all of my own websites because there's some reasons why, and I'll get into another video about why I do that. But having someone make one for you, if you can't, go ahead and do that. Okay. It's easy. It has to be easy to navigate. That showcases your products, pricing, and any story behind how you got started. Now, some of the key features I would include, of course, high quality photos of the food, clear descriptions and pricing, easy to use checkout process with multiple payment options that are available. That would be like PayPal, Stripe, etc. Now, information about delivery options and shipping policies too. And a simple blog where you can actually share recipes or cooking tips with your food product and some behind the scenes content. Now, here's some social media ideas too. Platforms, of course, like Instagram and Facebook, and of course, TikTok are great for showcasing your homemade food. But you want to share high quality images and videos of the products, maybe some behind the scenes content to show how your food preparation process works. Customer testimonials, even some feedback. That's always a great thing. Engaging stories about the journey it took from you to have the idea to actually making it and selling it. The sourcing of your ingredients, any inspiration behind the recipes or ideas. That's always good content. E-commerce platforms. Okay, you want to consider selling on platforms, of course, like Etsy or eBay to get started. I highly recommend you actually stay away from Amazon because you need to have some experience before you get on that platform because it's considerably difficult, much more harder to sell on. It can be done. I've actually been on Amazon now for 11 years, but it is a truly learning experience, okay? Food-specific marketplaces, Bubble Goods, Gold Belly, where people can often search for homemade and artisanal products. That's another one. Number 4, leverage email marketing. You want to build an email list, guys, from your website and social media followers. Offer incentives like discounts or even a free recipe ebook to encourage signups. Once you have this list, though, send regular emails that will do the following. Highlight new product launches or seasonal items. Offer exclusive discounts or even promotions. Share customer reviews or stories with the email list. Yes, it actually helps drive sales. Provide value with cooking tips, recipe ideas, or ingredient spotlights. Number 5 is search engine optimization. Now, you don't need to get all technical with this. Let me give you just a couple simple tips that really do help. Implement SEO strategies to ensure that your website, of course, products appear in relevant online searches. Now, what this involves is using what's known as targeted keywords. These are related to your product, such as like homemade cookies online, or vegan baked goods for delivery, or even buy artisanal bread online. These are specific keywords that will trigger your products to be found in search. Now, writing, of course, SEO optimized content like a blog post that educates your audience or increases visibility, that's always good. You also want to add alt text. Now, this is actually to any image, and you want to optimize the website for mobile use. So when you have an image or a photo of your product, you want to use those additional keywords and put them into the image. Okay? Number 6, utilize paid advertising. Now, it's always good. I recommend you learn a little bit about how this works before you start dumping money into it. Because when you advertise through Facebook or Google, because when someone clicks on the ad, they are going to take a fee. That does not mean it's converted into a sale. Conversion is different. So things like Google ads actually target people searching for specific terms related to your food products. Facebook and Instagram ads. Okay, so you use these platforms targeting features to reach specific demographics, interests, or even behaviors, which is fantastic. We love to run Facebook ads. I run them all the time. They're very effective for what we do. Very simple too. You can promote posts or even run campaigns that direct users to your website and product pages. Pinterest ads, by the way, Pinterest is huge with food in general, everything. If you're a food seller, a food maker, if you're marketing food, whatever you're doing, Pinterest ads are great. So if your products are visually appealing, Pinterest can be a great platform for marketing homemade food as well. Number 7, create compelling visual content. So since food is highly visual product, obviously, investing in good photography or videography is very essential. Now, here's some high quality visuals that can actually help. These are some ideas, some tips. Increase engagement on social media. Make your website look more professional with these images. You can also improve your chances of getting featured in online publications or food blogs. Now, you can use platforms again like TikTok to create short, engaging videos that show how your products are made or even how your customers can use them. Great idea. Number 8, collaborate with influencers or even bloggers. So you want to partner with food influencers or bloggers that can actually help you reach a larger audience. How we did it is that we looked for micro-influencers with a strong, engaged following in the niche, food bloggers who can actually review your products or even include them in recipe content, local influencers who can promote your brand within the local community too, always a benefit. Number 9, customer reviews and testimonials. Okay, so you want to encourage your customers, okay? You want them to leave reviews on your website, social media pages, or even a third-party platform like Etsy or Yelp. Positive reviews, let me tell you, they help to build trust and increase conversions big time. You want to offer incentives like a discount, even a freebie for customers who leave reviews. Feature customer photos and testimonials in marketing materials as well on different social platforms. Number 10, you want to offer special promotions and discounts. You incentivize new customers and reward repeat buyers with special offers. So number 1, discounts. Offer a percentage off of their first purchase even by referring a friend. Bundling. Create value by bundling items together at a reduced price. This is a great way. We actually do this a lot on Amazon. It works very well, bringing together either multiple items or just bigger quantities. Seasonal promotions. So promote holiday-themed items or seasonal flavors to drive sales during specific times. Number 11, you want to focus on packaging and branding. So your branding and packaging can actually set you apart from competition. You want to ensure your packaging is attractive, reflects your brand. Functional to keep obviously the food fresh and protected during transit and delivery, right? Compliant with local laws and labeling laws too, to make sure that you're in guidelines with those as well. So keep that in mind. Last but not least, of course, number 12, track and analyze your market efforts. So you want to figure out if you use tools like Google Analytics, social media insights, or even email marketing reports to track the success of those campaigns. Now, you measure website traffic and conversion rates with that. You can engagement on social media, like how many people like it, share it, comment on it, email open and click through rates. Those are important too. Use this data to actually, you want to refine your strategy and focus on what works best for your audience and keep doing it over and over. So these are 12 tips, 12 things I would recommend big time if you are asking yourself how to advertise home cooked meals or how to market a food product online. Definitely keep that in line. So if you have any questions about this or how it works, let us know down in the description, and check out these other resources here, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, so what are the highest profit margin homemade food products, not baked goods? In this video, I'm actually going to give you 15 other types of foods that you can produce and make from home, sell them locally, and make a great side hustle or an additional couple $1,000s a month selling these food products. Now, I'm going to give you the name of them. I'm going to break down the average costs, and then I'm going to break down the average retail price points. So you want to stick with me from number 1 down to number 15, because many of these, by the way, are all cottage food products that are approved in most every single state, and they'll give you an opportunity to make them from home, which is an even cheaper endeavor. We're going to dive into those 15 right now. All right, so welcome back to Marketing Food Online. It's David Roberti. And as I mentioned in the introduction, let's dive into this specific list. I've actually put together quite a bit of research to find out what are the margins, what are the best food products that are non-baked goods. Now, if you didn't catch my other video, the 15 highest profitable baked goods, I'll leave a link down in the description, or you can check it out up here as well. That has been viewed quite often. We got about 30,000, 40,000 views on that video. You definitely want to take a look at that one if you're into baked goods. But this is actually going to be other food products. So let's dive into number 1, homemade jams and preserves. Now, the average cost is around $2 per jar. That includes your ingredients and your packaging. Now, average selling price could be $8 per jar or upwards of 10. This will give you a profit margin roughly around 75%. Now, keep in mind that some of the costs for the ingredients and the labels and packaging will be slightly different. You may find something even cheaper or maybe a little bit higher, but this is a good starting point to understand the price points and the average profit margin. Now, why would I justify selling them for $8, Damien? Well, the price of an $8 jar is justified by a handcrafted nature and small batch production of homemade jams and preserves. Now, this is unlike mass-produced alternatives. These jams can be marketed as artisanal, made with locally sourced fruits potentially, and even free from artificial preserves, highlighting the unique flavor combinations. Now, such as strawberry basil or blueberry lavender can actually attract consumers looking for gourmet products that stand out from the standard grocery store options. Packaging in glass jars. Now, this, along with a custom label, adds to the premium appeal, making them perfect for gift giving or even special occasions, and that justifies pricing them at around $8. All right, so number 2, herbal teas, the dry version. Now, let me tell you about this. Average cost is around $1 per bag. That would be the herbs itself and your packaging. Now, the average selling price is around $6 per bag. Now, your profit margin is roughly 83% on this type of a product. Now, what's the justification in the marketing angle, Damien? Well, herbal teas, especially when marketed as organic or wellness focused, can command a higher price due to the perceived health benefits and the quality of the ingredient used. Now, when you're offering blends like chamomile lavender for relaxation or even peppermint ginger for digestion, can actually tap into a growing market for functional foods. The $6 price point is supported by the labor-intensive process of drying and blending these herbs. Now, along with the premium packaging that emphasizes the artisanal small batch production. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is that this product appeals to health-conscious consumers who value natural remedies or even are willing to pay higher quality for price point items. Number 3 is pickles. And believe it or not, there is a huge market for just pickles. And let me explain this one. The average cost of around $1.50 per jar, which would include cucumbers, vinegar, spices, and packaging. Now, the average selling price, though, is around $7 to $8 per jar, giving you a profit margin of roughly 78%. Now, what's the justification, Damien, in the marketing angle on this one? Well, pickles made at home can be positioned as a healthier, more flavorful alternative to store-bought versions, which are often loaded with a ton of preservatives, by the way. The $7 price reflects the use of the fresh, even local produce, and the unique flavor profiles that can be achieved with the custom spice blends. By offering a varieties like spicy garlic dill or even sweet bread and butter pickles, you can cater to a diverse taste. Now, also marketing these pickles as handcrafted with the emphasis on a traditional pickling method can actually appeal to foodies and those looking for a nostalgic yet flavorful side. All right, so number 4 is seasonal nuts. This could be spiced or candied. Now, this one is a huge one. It's actually one that I sell online. And let me explain to you how I do it. The average cost is $3 per 8-ounce bag. That would be your nuts, spices, and your packaging. Now, the average selling price, though, is between $12 per 8-ounce bag or even more. By the way, I actually charge $24.99 for 1 pound online through my Amazon store. Now, profit margin is around 75%. All right, so what's the justification, Damien, for that high price point, and how do you market it? Well, seasoned nuts are a premium snack option that can justify a $12 price tag due to the high quality ingredients and the labor involved in creating complex flavor profiles. Offering gourmet flavors like, let's say, rosemary sea salt, almonds, or even like a honey cinnamon pecans can differentiate your product from cheaper mass-produced snacks in the grocery store. Now, these nuts can be marketed as a healthy, high-protein snack that is actually perfect for gift giving or even just enjoying on your own. All right, so number 5, gourmet popcorn. Now, I have touched on my channel here a little bit about this before. I did a whole video about gourmet popcorn. It is a hugely profitable, probably one of the most profitable foods on the planet. And let me explain to you this one. Now, the average cost is around $1 per bag or even less. Corn oil, flavorings, and packaging, right? You've got average selling price of around $5 per bag with a profit margin of 80% or upwards of 85%. All right, so justification for this price point, Damon, and how do you market it? All right, so you got to keep in mind, the gourmet popcorn market has seen a significant growth in the past 10 years with consumers willing to pay a premium for creative flavors like truffle parmesan, caramel pecan, or even a spicy sriracha. Now, the $5 per bag is justified by the artisanal nature of the product and the high-quality ingredients you use. Unlike standard popcorn, gourmet versions are often non-GMO, gluten-free, and free from artificial additives. You want to market this popcorn as a healthier yet indulgent snack that's perfect for movie nights, parties, or even gifts that can attract a broader audience. You want to work on creative packaging, even eco-friendly bags or tins can further the boost of the sales. All right, so number 6, this one is amazing, hot sauce. I've even done videos again on my channel about hot sauce and the fact that you can make this very inexpensively and charge a fortune. Let me get into this one. So the average cost to produce a hot sauce can be around $2 a bottle. This is going to be your peppers, your vinegar, and spices and packaging. Now, keep in mind, this is a product that can be produced in mass, in really big bulk, which will reduce your cost overall per bottle. The average selling price can be in upwards of $10 a bottle. I've actually seen it go way above that, even on Amazon. Profit margins around 80%. All right, justification and marketing for this one, Damien? Well, homemade hot sauce can actually command an upwards of $10 price point due to the craft and care involved in creating these small batches. Flavor-packed sauces. Keep in mind, by using high-quality, fresh ingredients, and if you can get them locally, it's even cheaper, and unique pepper varieties, you can produce a product that actually stands out from this mass-produced hot sauces you find all over the markets. Marketing your hot sauce as artisanal, again, with the focus on bold, unique flavors, can actually attract a hot sauce enthusiast and foodies alike, highlighting the versatility of the sauce, such as its uses in marinades, a dip, or even a condiment as a side, can broaden its appeal. Number 7, salsa. This is actually one of my most favorite snacks myself to eat, but salsa. This one is another great one. The average cost is around $1.50 per jar, including tomatoes, onions, your spices, and packaging. Now, the average selling price, and this is actually low, but for this video, I put it at about $7 per jar. Your profit margin is around 78%. Now, justification and marketing. Let's dive into it. Fresh, homemade salsa can easily command a $7 price point due to its superior taste and quality compared to mass-produced options. The use of fresh, local ingredients and the absence of preservatives are key in selling points for justifying this price point. Now, offering a range of heat levels, that's where it's going to come in the difference, from mild to extra hot, as well as unique flavor combinations and profiles like mango habanero, roasted garlic, can attract a diverse customer base. Marketing your salsa as a fresh, all-natural product that's perfect for parties and cooking and even snacking can help differentiate from the mass-produced stuff. All right, next one up is number 8, herb-infused oils. Now, this is something that a lot of chefs have been using over the past nearly 6 or 7 years. It's grown in huge popularity. Is flavor-infused oils in a lot of different dishes, even just being drizzled over salads. All right, let's dive into this one. $3 per bottle on average. is what it's going to cost you with your oil, your herbs, and packaging. Remember, try to get the oils in bulk and the herbs in bulk. Average selling price is around $12 a bottle with a profit margin of 75%. As a matter of fact, I've seen herb-infused oils, again, online at Walmart.com and even Amazon.com for around $18, even $20 a bottle. Now, justification in marketing. Now, if herb-infused oils are seen as a gourmet product that enhance the flavor of any dish, from salads to pastas. Now, the $12 price point is justified by the use of your high-quality oils, such as extra virgin olive oil, fresh herbs, if you can get them locally again, as well as labor-intensive infusion process, which actually costs a little bit more for you to do it in smaller batches. Marketing these oils as versatile kitchen staples, perfect for home cooks and food enthusiasts, can attract customers and consumers willing to pay for high-quality products. Highlighting its artisanal production process and the use of organic or even locally sourced herbs can further enhance its perceived value. Almost there. Number 9, we're going to dive into granola, the non-baked version, which is growing big time. The market for granola that's non-baked is getting bigger by the day. Now, the average cost, though, is even less than making traditional granola that potentially is either baked or infused with other flavors. Average cost is $2 per 8-ounce bag. So you have your oats, you have your nuts, you have dried fruits, and packaging. Now, the average selling price is $8 per 8-ounce bag, giving you a profit margin of about 75%. Now, let's justify this. What is the price point? Non-baked granola, often seen as a healthier alternative to sugary cereals, can easily justify an $8 price point due to its wholesome, nutrient-rich ingredients. Now, by offering even further gluten-free, organic, or even a high-protein options, you can cater to health-conscious consumers who are willing to pay a premium for nutritious breakfast or snack foods. Marketing your granola as a versatile product that can be eaten on its own, mixed with yogurt, or even used as a topping in a smoothie bowls can broaden its appeal. Number 10, spice blends. Big, gigantic market. But yes, you can even do it on a small scale. Average cost is around $1 per jar, spices and packaging. Your average selling price for this video, I actually put it at about $6 per jar, gives you a profit margin around 83%. You have to keep in mind that you can even go higher depending on the specific spice you're making and the blend you're making as well. Justification in marketing. So homemade spice blends can command a higher price due to the customization and quality of the ingredients. Offering blends like smoky barbecue rub, Italian herb mixes, or even curry spice blends can appeal to home cooks looking for convenience and flavor. Now, the $6 price point is supported by the artisanal nature of the product and the premium spices that you use. Marketing these blends. Okay, let's dive into that a little. Time Solutions is a time-saving, busy family solution. Grab and go, unique gifts for foodies can attract a broader customer base. Packaging, you need to get a glass jar with custom labels that include suggested uses or even recipes that can further enhance their value and appeal. Number 11, flavored vinegars. Now, similar to infused oils, but this is the vinegar version. Often, the average cost is around $2 per bottle. You have vinegar, flavorings, and packaging. Now, the selling price can be in upwards of $10 per bottle, giving you an 80% margin. All right, justification of marketing, Damien, for this one. Well, flavored vinegars, such as raspberry balsamic, herb-infused white vinegar, are seen as actually gourmet cooking essentials that can cost and justify up to $10 per bottle. The labor-intensive process of infusing vinegars with fresh herbs, fruits, or spices adds to its perceived value. Now, marketing these vinegars as versatile products that can be used in dressings, marinades, or even cocktails can attract food enthusiasts and home cooks. Number 12, fruit leathers. Now, this one's really interesting. Now, average cost for this one is around $1 a roll, which would be the fruit puree and the drying process itself. Now, the average selling price can be in upwards of $5, $6, or even $7 per roll, based upon a profit margin of around 80%. Now, justification in marketing. Fruit leathers are a healthy, all-natural snack that can easily justify a $5 price per roll due to the use of fresh, high-quality fruits and the time-intensive drying process. Now, offering flavors like strawberry, mango, mixed berry can appeal to both adults and also children too, looking for a nutritious alternative sugary snack. Marketing these fruit leathers as vegan, gluten-free, or free from artificial additives can attract health-conscious consumers. Number 13, honey, infused or raw. Now, of course, this will be dependent slightly upon your cottage food laws in your state, so you want to double check about raw honey, okay? The average cost can be around $3 per jar if you're making this yourself. Raw honey, infusion ingredients, and packaging. Now, the average selling price for honey, I've actually seen gourmet bottles in excess of $18 to $19 or even $20, depending on the size as well, but this is $12 per jar. That's going to give you a margin of around 75%. Justification in marketing, Damien, for this? Well, raw or infused honey is seen as a premium product due to its natural health benefits in its artisanal process of infusion. Whether offering plain raw honey or even infused varieties like lavender or even chili pepper, the $12 price point for this jar is justified by the labor-intensive process and the use of your high-quality ingredients, probably locally if you're making this honey in your backyard. Marketing honey as a versatile product that can be used in cooking, baking, or other natural sweeteners for tea can attract a wide audience. Now, emphasizing the health benefits, such as being an all-natural remedy for colds or allergies, can further justify the premium price. Number 14, we're going to get into trail mixes, which are always an amazing snack on the go. Now, the average cost is around $2 per 8-ounce bag. Now, that would include your nuts, dried fruits, seeds, and packaging. Now, your average selling price, though, could be anywhere from $8 to $9 per that 8-ounce bag.
All right, welcome everyone. Ready to dive into the world of launching a home-based coffee business.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
And especially how to actually make it successful, like actually turn it into a real business.
Yeah.
We've got a really great guide here that breaks down all the steps and gives some really actionable advice. So we'll be pulling out the highlights from that and yeah, hopefully giving you like a roadmap to get started. And I think what's interesting is when I first started thinking about this, I was just like, oh, I love coffee. Roast some beans and sell them.
Right.
But there's so much more to think about. Like it's an actual business.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that often gets overlooked is really treating it as a business, not just a hobby.
Right.
So many people are so focused on the coffee, which of course is important.
Yeah.
But you need to have the business foundation to really make that passion profitable.
That makes sense. It's easy to get caught up in making the perfect latte art.
Yeah, exactly.
But you need that structure to actually turn it into, a sustainable income.
Exactly. And that's where a really detailed business plan comes in.
Okay.
It's like your roadmap. It outlines everything from your goals to your strategies to, how you're going to manage your finances.
So where do you even start with a business plan for something like this?
Well, I always recommend starting with your niche.
Okay.
What's going to set your coffee apart?
Yeah.
Are you specializing in single origin beans from a specific region?
Ooh.
Or maybe you're creating, unique blends with like these crazy flavor profiles.
Okay.
Or maybe you're targeting a specific audience, like people who are, really into organic and fair trade.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like it's kind of like figuring out your signature style. Like
Right.
what's going to make your coffee stand out from all the other amazing coffee out there.
Exactly. And once you have that niche figured out,
Okay.
then you can start thinking about, okay, that big $8,000 a month goal.
Yeah.
How do we actually break that down into achievable steps?
Yeah, because that sounds like a lot.
It is, but that's where setting clear milestones comes in.
Okay.
It's like building a staircase to your goal. Instead of looking at that, daunting $8,000 figure,
Right.
you break it down into smaller targets, like maybe weekly or even daily sales goals.
So like how much would you have to sell each day to get to that?
Well, let's say you're selling your bags of coffee for an average of $20.
Okay.
You'd need to sell about 20 bags a day to hit that $8,000 mark.
Oh, wow. That's actually,
Yeah, it's doable.
that puts it into perspective.
It does. And speaking of pricing, you also need to think about all your costs, not just the beans themselves.
Right.
You've got packaging, marketing, even the cost of your time. You got to factor that in.
Yeah, like all the behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly.
Oh,
And having a good system for tracking your finances is crucial.
okay.
A software like Xero or QuickBooks can be really helpful for that.
So it sounds like we're talking about building a legitimate business here.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just like a casual side hustle. And with any business, there's always that legal side to consider.
Absolutely. And I know it might not be the most exciting part, but it's crucial for long-term success.
Yeah, I guess you can't just skip that part.
Nope. Even if you're starting small, you need to make sure you're operating legally.
Right.
So you'll need to figure out what kind of business structure is right for you.
Okay.
Like, are you going to be a sole proprietorship, an LLC, or something else?
Yeah. How do you even know which one to choose?
Well, the Small Business Administration website is a good resource to start with.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of information about the different structures, and they can help you figure out what makes sense for your situation.
So this is starting to sound a little complicated.
It can be, but that's why it's always a good idea to consult with a professional.
Okay.
Like a lawyer or an accountant who specializes in small businesses.
Yeah.
They can give you personalized advice based on your specific circumstances and make sure you're covering all your bases.
Yeah, because I'm sure there are rules about selling food products made at home.
Right. And those regulations can vary a lot depending on where you live.
Oh, so it's not just like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
No, definitely not. You don't want to risk running into problems down the line because you didn't do your research up front.
That makes sense. It's like building a strong foundation for your coffee empire, making sure everything is legal and above board.
Exactly.
So we've got our business plan brewing.
Yeah.
We've got our legal ducks in a row.
Sure.
Can we finally talk about the coffee itself now?
Of course, let's move on to the heart of your business, sourcing those delicious beans.
This is what I've been waiting for.
This is where you really get to showcase your passion and expertise.
I'm picturing myself, traveling the world, visiting these amazing coffee farms.
Right.
Hand selecting the perfect beans.
It's a dream.
But realistically, how does someone starting a home-based business even approach sourcing their beans?
Well, while those trips to exotic coffee plantations might come later,
Okay.
there are some great options right from the start. You could partner with local roasters, build those relationships within your community.
Yeah.
Offer that like farm-to-cup freshness that people love.
That's cool. Like supporting local businesses.
Exactly. Or if you're looking for something even more unique, you could explore direct trade relationships with farmers overseas.
Okay.
There are online platforms now that connect you directly with growers all over the world.
Really?
You can learn about their practices and even source beans with very specific flavor profiles.
Wow. So I could find a coffee farm in Costa Rica
Exactly.
and get beans directly from them.
Yep. And, learn about their sustainable practices.
That sounds amazing. But how do you make sure you're getting quality beans and that everything is ethical when you're sourcing from so far away?
That's a great question, and there are a few things to look out for.
Okay.
First, look for certifications like Fair Trade or Rainforest Alliance.
Okay, I've seen those.
Yeah, they help ensure fair labor practices and sustainable farming methods.
So it's good to look for those labels.
Exactly. You can also request samples and cupping notes from the farmers.
Cupping notes?
Yeah, it's like tasting notes for coffee, so you can actually try the beans before you commit to a big order.
That's smart.
Yeah, and a lot of these online platforms offer a lot of transparency into the farms and their practices.
Oh, that's good. So you can really get a sense of where your coffee is coming from.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're finding incredible beans, ethically sourced, potentially even developing relationships with farmers across the globe.
That's pretty cool.
Now we need to bring those beans home and figure out how to get them ready for our customers.
Exactly. It's time to set up your home barista headquarters.
Okay.
And the first big decision is to roast or not to roast.
Oh.
Are you going to invest in a home roaster
Oh.
or partner with a local roastery to handle that part of the process?
So many decisions already.
I know, it's exciting though.
Yeah, it is. But how do I even know which way to go with the roasting?
It really depends on a few things like your budget,
Okay.
the space you have available,
Yeah.
and how much control you want over the roasting process. Home roasting gives you complete creative freedom.
Right.
You can experiment with different roast profiles and develop your own unique roasts.
That sounds fun.
It is, but it requires, a decent investment in equipment.
Okay.
And it's definitely a learning curve to mastering the craft.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So if you're just starting out, partnering with a roastery might be a more practical option.
Makes sense.
You can benefit from their expertise and their equipment while you focus on, other aspects of your business.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe get the hang of the business side first and
Sure,
then
that's good.
explore roasting later on.
Right.
Okay, so whether we're roasting at home or working with a partner, we still need to think about the practicalities of setting up our workspace.
Absolutely.
What are some of the essentials we'll need?
Besides the roaster or, if you're not roasting the beans yourself,
Yeah.
you'll need a good quality grinder,
Okay.
especially if you plan to offer whole beans to your customers.
Right.
And of course, you'll need storage solutions to keep those beans fresh,
Yeah.
like airtight containers.
Okay.
Keep them away from direct sunlight and heat.
That's important.
Very important. And don't underestimate the importance of a dedicated, organized workspace.
Yeah.
This is where you'll be spending a lot of time, so make it functional and efficient.
Yeah, make it a space you enjoy being in.
Right. And speaking of workspace, we can't forget about safety and hygiene.
Oh, right, because we're dealing with food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your workspace needs to comply with any local health regulations.
Okay.
That might involve having separate sinks for hand washing and food prep,
Oh, okay.
designated areas for storing and packaging your coffee.
Okay.
And you might even need to have regular inspections.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's best to check with your local health department to be absolutely sure you're meeting all the requirements.
Good point. Don't want to get shut down before you even start.
Right.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
From crafting a business plan to sourcing those amazing beans.
Yep.
Setting up our home base. It's all coming together.
It is.
Yeah.
But how do we take all of this and transform it into a brand that customers will love?
That's where branding comes in.
Okay.
It's about creating an identity that captures the essence of your coffee and connects with your target audience.
So it's more than just a logo.
Way more. It's about giving your coffee a personality, a story, a visual identity that makes it stand out from all the other coffees out there.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Like, I'm picturing beautiful bags, enticing labels, a captivating story behind each cup.
I love it.
But where do we even begin with all of that?
Well, it all starts with your brand name and logo.
Okay.
They need to be memorable.
Yeah.
They need to reflect your brand's personality, and they need to resonate with your ideal customer.
So, like, what kind of vibe are we going for?
Exactly. Do you want something classic and elegant?
Okay.
Or bold and playful, or something else entirely?
Yeah, like, what's the feeling you want people to have when they see your coffee?
Right. And once you have that foundation...
then you can start thinking about packaging.
Okay, this is where things get fun.
This is where it gets creative.
What are some key things to keep in mind when designing packaging?
Well, first think about your target market.
Okay.
What kind of visuals are going to appeal to them?
Okay.
Are you going for a minimalist, modern look?
Okay.
Or more rustic, handcrafted vibe?
So many options.
I know the material, the colors, the fonts you choose.
Yeah.
All of that plays a role in conveying your brand message.
It's like telling a story without even using words.
Exactly. And don't forget about functionality, too.
Oh, right.
The packaging needs to protect the coffee's freshness
Yeah.
and be easy for customers to open and reseal.
Makes sense.
You don't want them struggling to get to the good stuff.
Definitely not. Okay, so it sounds like there's a lot to consider when it comes to branding.
There is.
Would it be worth bringing in a professional designer to help with this part?
It definitely can be, especially if design isn't your strong suit. A professional designer can help you create a cohesive and impactful brand identity that really aligns with your vision and your target market.
Okay.
They can also guide you through the printing process.
Right.
Make sure your packaging meets all the industry standards.
So it's like an investment that can save you headaches down the road.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're creating a brand that's visually appealing.
Mm-hmm.
It tells a compelling story.
Right.
But in today's world, we can't forget about building an online presence too.
Absolutely. In part 2 of this deep dive, we'll explore the world of websites, social media, and all things digital marketing.
Okay, get ready to build your digital coffee empire.
I'm excited.
Me too.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See you then.
All right, so last time we covered like the core foundation of, setting up your business, figuring out like the legal stuff, and then all that exciting stuff about like sourcing your beans.
Right, all the fun stuff.
But now we got to bring that coffee to the world.
No.
We're going to talk about building a digital presence.
It's essential these days.
Yeah, it's like opening the doors to your virtual coffee shop, right?
Exactly. Like, you need a place for people to come and experience your brand online.
Right, and the first thing that comes to mind for me is like a website.
Yeah, your website is your online storefront.
Okay.
It's open 24/7, and it gives customers a chance to see what you offer.
Right. Browse around.
Learn about your story.
And hopefully buy some coffee.
And buy some coffee.
Exactly.
I've been on some coffee websites that are like super inviting, and then others that are like,
not so much.
yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
What are some of the key things that make a coffee website like actually good?
Well, I think first and foremost, it has to be visually appealing. And easy to navigate.
Right.
You want people to be able to find what they're looking for quickly. So think clear menus, high quality photos of your products, and a design that really reflects your brand's personality.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you also need to make sure it's mobile friendly. Oh yeah, that's huge these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's on their phones.
Yeah, I do most of my online shopping on my phone.
So many people do. So you want to make sure that experience is smooth and easy.
Okay, yeah, I'm way more likely to actually buy something if I can do it all on my phone.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about actually selling the coffee online? Like, how do you set that up so it's secure and easy for people to buy?
That's where e-commerce platforms come in.
Okay.
Services like Shopify, Squarespace, WooCommerce.
Heard of those?
Yeah, they let you build an online store that's integrated with your website.
Okay.
They handle everything from product listings to payment processing.
So you don't have to like build it all from scratch.
No, exactly. They make it much easier.
That's good to know because I'm not a tech person at all.
Yeah. And they offer secure payment gateways, so you don't have to worry about handling sensitive customer data.
That's important.
Very important. Plus, they often have features like inventory management and shipping integrations. So it really streamlines your whole fulfillment process.
So they kind of take care of all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Exactly. They let you focus on what you do best.
Making delicious coffee.
Yes, making delicious coffee.
Okay, so we've got our website up and running. We're selling coffee.
Mhm.
But a website's just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Right. You can't forget about social media.
Okay, yeah. It seems like every coffee brand is on Instagram these days.
It's such a powerful tool for connecting with coffee lovers,
Okay.
showcasing your brand's personality,
Mm-hmm.
driving traffic to your website.
But how do you even stand out?
Right.
There's so much coffee content out there.
There is. It's a crowded space.
Yeah, like how do you make your brand stand out?
Well, it all comes down to creating engaging content that really resonates with your target audience.
Okay.
Seek stunning visuals,
Okay.
behind the scenes, peeks at your process,
Ooh.
customer testimonials,
Okay.
maybe even some educational content about, different brewing methods
Okay.
or the origins of your beans.
Yeah, like teach people something.
Exactly. And it's also important to be active.
Okay.
Respond to comments, run contests, engage with other coffee enthusiasts.
So it's not just about posting and then ghosting.
Oh, you got to be present. You got to build a community.
Okay, so it's more about like building relationships than just like broadcasting a message.
Exactly. You
Okay.
want people to feel like they're a part of your coffee journey.
Yeah, like that.
And that's what turns them from casual scrollers into loyal fans.
Okay, so we're building a beautiful website.
Mm.
We're engaging on social media.
Right.
But there's this whole other thing that I hear about all the time.
What's that?
SEO.
Ah, yes. The mysterious world of SEO.
It seems a little intimidating, to be honest.
It can be,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really not as complicated as people make it out to be.
Okay.
It's basically just making sure that your website is easy for search engines to find and understand.
So when people search for coffee online,
Right.
your website will actually show up.
Exactly.
Okay, so where do you even start with SEO?
We'll start with the basics. Make sure your website content is well written
Okay.
and that it includes relevant keywords that people are actually searching for.
Okay.
You can use tools like Google Keyword Planner to help you find those keywords.
Okay. I'll check that out.
And you want to make sure your website is structured in a way that search engines can easily crawl and index.
Okay.
And you can also build backlinks to your site.
What are backlinks?
Backlinks are basically just links from other websites to your website.
Okay.
And the more high-quality backlinks you have, the higher your website will rank in search results.
So it's like getting other websites to vouch for you.
Exactly. And even simple things like claiming your Google business profile can make a big difference in local search results.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's important for people who are searching for coffee shops in their area.
Okay, so we're building a beautiful website. We're engaging on social media. We're working on our SEO.
Right?
Seems like we're covering all our bases online.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
But how do we actually turn all of this effort into sales?
That brings us to the world of marketing.
Okay. And marketing's not just about like shouting your message from the rooftops, right?
No, it's about strategically connecting with the right people at the right time in the right way.
Okay.
It's about targeting your efforts, not just blasting out a generic message to everyone.
That makes sense. So what are some marketing strategies that actually work for home-based coffee businesses?
Well, email marketing is a great place to start.
Okay.
You can build relationships with your audience and promote your products through email.
Okay, how do you even get people to sign up for your emails?
You can offer a lead magnet.
What's a lead magnet?
It's basically something valuable that you give away in exchange for someone's email address,
Okay.
like a discount code or a free brewing guide.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and then once you have their email address, you can nurture those subscribers with valuable content, exclusive offers,
Okay.
behind-the-scenes glimpses into your brand.
So it's like staying top of mind.
Exactly.
You want to keep your brand in their inbox so they don't forget about you.
Right, because everyone's inbox is so crowded these days.
It is, so you got to make sure your emails are engaging and interesting.
What about other strategies?
What you could also consider partnering with influencers in the coffee space.
Okay.
These are bloggers, social
Yeah.
media personalities,
Yeah.
YouTubers
Yeah.
who have a dedicated following of coffee enthusiasts.
So they can help you reach a wider audience.
Right. They can review your products,
Yeah.
create sponsored content,
Oh, okay.
or just feature your brand in their posts.
That's a good idea, but how do you even choose the right influencer?
That's a good question.
Hmm.
You want to look for someone whose values and audience align with your brand.
Okay.
Make sure their content is high quality and engaging.
Mm,
And you can track the results of your influencer campaigns
okay.
to see what's actually working.
So it's not just like a guessing game?
No, you can actually measure the return on your investment.
That's good to know. Okay, so we're nurturing relationships through email. We're collaborating with influencers. What about paid advertising?
Ah, yes. Paid advertising can be a powerful tool
Okay.
for reaching a larger audience.
How does that even work?
Well, platforms like Google Ads and social media advertising
Right.
allow you to create highly targeted campaigns.
What do you mean by targeted?
You can reach people based on their demographics, their interests,
Okay.
even their online behavior.
Wow, so it's like really specific.
Yeah, you can get really granular with your targeting.
Okay. But paid advertising seems kind of complicated.
It can be, but you don't have to jump in with a huge budget right away.
Okay.
Start small experiment test, different ad formats, targeting options messaging.
Okay.
See what resonates with your audience.
So it's like a learning process.
Exactly. And the platforms provide analytics so you
Yeah.
can track your results
Okay.
and make adjustments as needed.
So you can see what's working and what's not.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're using email influencers and maybe even trying out some paid advertising.
It's a good mix.
Yeah, but what about offline marketing?
Oh, yeah. Don't underestimate the power of real-world connections.
Okay.
Local events and partnerships can be really valuable.
Like what kind of events?
Farmers markets, pop-up shops, local coffee festivals.
Okay.
These are great opportunities to connect with customers face-to-face.
Yeah.
Let them sample your coffee. Answer their questions.
Build relationships.
Build relationships, exactly.
Okay, I like that idea. Like, it's a chance to really bring the online experience to life.
Right. People can taste your coffee, smell the aroma,
Mm-hmm.
really get a sense of what your brand is all about.
Okay, and what about partnerships?
You could explore wholesale opportunities.
Okay.
Partner with local cafes, restaurants, grocery stores
Okay.
to carry your coffee.
That's a good way to expand your reach.
Yeah, and increase your sales volume.
Okay, so we're selling online, exploring local markets,
Yep.
maybe even going wholesale.
Right.
It's exciting. But no matter how great your marketing is, it all comes down to the customer experience. Right.
How do we make sure that people have a positive experience when they buy our coffee?
Well, communication is key.
Okay.
Be responsive to inquiries,
Okay.
whether they come through email, social media, phone calls.
Right.
Personalize your interactions.
Okay.
Show customers that you care about their experience.
So it's more than just like a transaction.
Exactly. You want to build relationships with your customers.
Okay.
Make them feel valued.
Yeah, because happy customers are repeat customers.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to go the extra mile.
Okay.
You know, send handwritten thank you notes.
Ooh, I like that.
Maybe include a small gift with their order
Okay.
or start a loyalty program.
Yeah, those little touches can really make a difference.
They really can. It shows that you appreciate their business.
But what happens when things go wrong? Like if there's a problem with an order or a customer is unhappy?
Well, you address those issues promptly and professionally.
Okay.
Listen to the customer's concerns. Apologize sincerely.
And offer a solution that goes above and beyond to make things right.
So it's about turning a negative experience into a positive one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes a customer complaint can even be an opportunity to learn and improve your processes.
Okay, so we're creating a fantastic customer experience.
Yeah.
We're building loyalty
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully watching our business grow.
Right.
But how do we actually know if we're on track to hit that $8,000 per month goal?
That's where tracking and analyzing your progress comes in.
Okay.
Monitor your sales data, your customer acquisition costs, your customer retention rates.
Okay.
These metrics give you valuable insights into your business's health.
So it's like going back to that business plan
Exactly.
and making sure that we're actually moving towards our goals.
Right. And you can adjust your plan as needed
Okay.
based on the data you're collecting.
So it's not just like a set it and forget it kind of thing.
No, it's an ongoing process.
Right. You got to stay flexible.
Exactly. And celebrate your successes along the way.
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and forget to like acknowledge how far you've come.
It's important to take those moments to celebrate.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this part.
We have.
From building a website to mastering social media to navigating the world of marketing.
It's a lot.
It is, but it's also really exciting.
It is starting and growing a successful home-based coffee business is an incredible journey.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but it sounds like it's also really rewarding.
It is. And I think the most important thing is to stay passionate about your craft.
Right, because that passion will shine through in everything you do.
Exactly. Your love for coffee will be contagious and it will attract customers who share that passion.
So true. All right, well, join us next time for the final part of this deep dive where we'll explore how to actually optimize your sales process, provide exceptional customer service, and even discuss strategies for scaling your business.
Can't wait to see you then.
See you then. All right, so we've made it to the final part of our deep dive into launching a successful home-based coffee business.
And I'm excited to finally talk about actually getting that coffee into the hands of customers and making sales.
Yeah, me too. We've laid all this groundwork from crafting our business plan to, branding and marketing. Now it's time to see it all come together.
Right now it's time to make it happen.
So when I think about selling coffee, the first thing that comes to mind is having an online store.
Yeah, it seems like the most obvious choice these days.
Yeah, right. So is that the way to go? Is that the best approach?
It definitely can be, especially for a home-based business.
Okay.
Selling directly to consumers through your own website gives you a lot of control.
Okay.
You control the whole experience, from how you present your products
Okay.
to how you process payments and handle shipping.
So what are some of the things that make an online store really successful?
Well, you want to make sure it's easy for people to use
Okay.
and that it looks good.
Right.
So think high-quality product photos,
Okay.
detailed descriptions, clear pricing, and easy navigation.
Huh. So it's all about creating a smooth and enjoyable experience.
Exactly. You don't want people to get frustrated and abandon their cart.
Right. No one likes a complicated checkout process.
And you also want to offer a variety of payment options
Okay.
and make sure the checkout process is secure.
Yeah, security is huge online.
Absolutely.
Okay, so someone buys some coffee through my website.
Mhm.
What happens next? How do I actually get it to them?
The world of fulfillment.
Yeah, that part seems a little daunting, to be honest.
I know it can be, but there are resources to help.
Okay.
You can partner with fulfillment centers.
What are those?
They basically handle all the storage, packaging, and shipping for you.
Oh, wow. So I don't have to do any of that myself.
Exactly. They take care of it all.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. Or if you're starting smaller, you can manage fulfillment yourself.
Okay.
Just invest in some good quality packaging materials.
Okay.
Find a reliable shipping carrier.
And figure out a system that works for you.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're selling coffee online, but are there other ways to reach customers?
Oh, absolutely. Don't forget about your local community.
Okay.
Farmers markets, pop-up shops, local events.
Okay.
These are great ways to connect with people face-to-face.
Yeah.
Let them sample your coffee, answer any questions they might have,
Right.
and just build those relationships.
I like that idea. It's more personal.
Yeah, it's a chance to really showcase your passion and let people experience your brand in a tangible way.
Yeah, and maybe even make some sales on the spot.
Exactly.
What about wholesale?
Wholesale's another great option.
Okay.
You could partner with local cafes, restaurants,
Right.
grocery stores
Okay.
to carry your coffee.
That's a good way to get your coffee out there.
Yeah, it can really help you increase your sales volume.
So we've got online sales,
Yeah.
local markets,
Yep.
wholesale.
That's a good mix.
It is, but at the end of the day, no matter how amazing the coffee is or how great our marketing is,
Yeah.
it all comes down to the customer experience.
Absolutely.
So how do we make sure that people have a positive experience when they buy our coffee?
Communication is key.
Okay.
Be responsive to any inquiries you get,
Okay.
whether they come through email, social media, or phone.
Yeah.
Personalize your interactions.
Okay.
Show customers that you genuinely care about their experience.
So it's about building relationships,
Absolutely.
not just treating them like a transaction.
Exactly. You want people to feel valued,
And hopefully they'll come back for more.
right? Happy customers are repeat customers.
So true. And are there other ways to show customers that you appreciate them?
Oh, yeah. There are lots of things you can do.
Okay.
You could send handwritten thank you notes.
Ooh, I like that.
Maybe include a little gift with their order.
Okay.
Or start a loyalty program to reward repeat business.
Yeah, those little touches can really make a difference.
They really can. It shows that you're going above and beyond.
But what happens when things don't go as planned?
Uh-oh.
What if there's a problem with an order or a customer isn't happy?
Well, the key is to address those issues promptly and professionally.
Okay.
Listen to the customer's concerns. Apologize sincerely.
Okay.
And offer a solution that really makes things right.
So it's about turning a negative situation into a positive one.
Exactly. You want to show the customer that you care about resolving the issue.
And hopefully they'll be more likely to do business with you again in the future.
Right. Even a complaint can be an opportunity to build trust.
Okay, so we're creating a fantastic customer experience,
Yeah.
building loyalty, hopefully watching our business grow.
Right.
But how do we know if we're actually on track to hit that $8,000 per month goal?
That's where tracking your progress comes in.
Okay.
Monitor your sales data,
Okay.
your customer acquisition costs, your customer retention rates.
Okay.
These metrics will give you a clear picture of how your business is doing.
So it's like going back to that business plan we created
Exactly.
and making sure we're moving in the right direction.
All right, you can use the data you collect to make adjustments to your plan as needed.
So it's an ongoing process.
Absolutely. It's not a one-time thing.
Right, you got to stay flexible.
Exactly. And don't forget to celebrate your successes along the way.
Yes, it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and forget to acknowledge our wins.
It's important to take a step back and appreciate how far you've come.
Well, this deep dive has been amazing.
I've had fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground, from the very basics of starting a business to the complexities of marketing and sales.
And everything in between.
I feel like I have a much clearer understanding of what it takes to launch a successful coffee business.
I hope so.
So as we wrap up, what's the one piece of advice you would give to someone who's just starting out on this journey?
Don't be afraid to experiment, take risks, and most importantly, never lose your passion for coffee.
So true, because at the end of the day, it's all about sharing your love of coffee with the world.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been a pleasure.
I think our listeners are going to walk away from this feeling inspired and ready to brew up their own success.
I hope so.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We've had a blast exploring the world of home-based coffee businesses, and we can't wait to see what you create.
Happy brewing, everyone.
That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.